Alright everybody, hello and welcome. As always, I am Sean. This is In The Mixer and we are up to episode 52 of our Hashtag United series. We're getting towards the end of Football Manager 2019, but we now have enough episodes that you could watch one a week for an entire year. Or, if you didn't want to waste your time, you could just watch the playlist and be done in a couple of hours. But I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life. Now for those of you that haven't watched the last episode, episode 51, we went through a ton of content, so please go and check that one out. Otherwise this is not going to make any sense to you at all, because we are now into the Premier League and it is a massive episode because we're going to play our first ever game in the Premier League away to Leicester, and then we have our first real giant fixture. The reigning defending champion Manchester United are making the trip down, not to the Hive but to Selhurst Park. There's quite a few different things that I forgot to mention in the last episode because so much happened. But once we got promoted, we moved from the Hive to Selhurst Park. A new stadium was announced, Hashtag United Stadium. They haven't quite found a location yet or said when it's going to be finished. It's going to be about 15,000 seats. Steve Carmichael-Brown, our head physio since the very first season, has retired, but thank you for your service, Steve. Very much appreciated. We've smashed our transferred records in, but I'll go through those players in a moment. We've smashed our transfer records out with Pat Ferguson joining Everton for £13 million if you include all the additional extras. We've been given 500 to 1 odds to stay in the league this season, to win the league this season, which is pretty shitty. We're the worst team in the division odds-wise. And we have signed a bevy of young, talented players from across the world. We're going to throw up quickly the depth chart that you can see up here. I don't know why I pointed that way, because it's up here. But the first thing you'll notice is that there are 3 players that you can see listed there that are greyed out, which is the first time we've really used that colour coding, because I, like an idiot, forgot 17-year-old players couldn't move until they turned 18. So we've got 3 players here. George Sosa, I'm going to say it that way. I know it's probably Jorge, but I feel like I'm asking for trouble if I try and pronounce that name quickly while commentating a game. And he is an absolute beast. He actually played at the World Cup, the 2030 World Cup, which was in Spain. For Uruguay, led the line. They got to the quarterfinals, I think it was. 15 dribbling, 15 finishing, 15 acceleration, 15 heading, 16 aggression, 14 leadership, a whole bunch of phenomenal stats for a 17-year-old player. He will be the best player at the club when he eventually joins us on the 1st of January. So the January transfer window is going to be super busy. We also have Vladimir Kolar, a Czech centre-back, joining us. He's a left-footed centre-back. He looks like an absolute beast. The biggest compliment I can give him is that we actually beat out the likes of AC Milan, Inter Milan. I think Roma and Juve were in there as well. There are a whole bunch of Italian clubs that were trying to bring him in to bring him to the club. I just love a left-footed centre-back. I don't know what it is about that particular spot, but I just can't help myself. And the last one, Nazim Ikanovic, Bosnian international. He's going to come in as a box-to-box midfielder. He looks like a phenomenal pickup, but these players aren't going to, unfortunately, get here until January, which is why they are greyed out on the list that you can see there. But as soon as they come in, they're likely going to be stars for the team and come straight into the first team lineup and all that sort of great stuff. But for now, we're going to focus on the guys that you can see here, the ones that are here for the first top flight fixture, our first Premier League game. We're going to start at the back. Dominik Rojak, he's a 19-year-old Polish goalkeeper that we've picked up from Lech. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Probably not. Let me know in the comment section. But just phenomenal stats. 3.5-star current ability, 5-star potential. He's currently described at championship level, but very quickly with a few games, he's going to move up to that Premier League quality. Big boy, 192 centimetres, 90 kilo. He is phenomenal. We've held on to Aidan Graydon, who has continued to grow and develop since we picked up him from Tottenham last year. We've signed our first Australian. Martin Maguire is joining from the Newcastle Jets in the Hyundai A-League. He is currently our best player, 4.5-star current ability and 5-star potential, playing at a low Premier League level, but potential to be a Premier League star. 18 teamwork, 17 bravery, really good technical attributes, including 15 free kick taking and 17 tackling for a defender. Only 18 years of age, already 9 caps for the Socceroos. You haven't seen much nepotism from me in the series, but I'm getting away with one there. He's going to play alongside Noah McDonald early in the season, but once Kolar actually joins in January, you'll likely see him start quite a bit as well. Ignacio Macan has stayed for another season from Chelsea. He's going to continue on that left wing. 22 now, he's the oldest player in the squad. Still 4-star current ability, 4.5-star potential, so he's starting to hit his ceiling a little bit. We can't get him permanently. Chelsea just want insane money, but his contract's up at the end of the season, so even if they won't accept a bid for him at any point, we could try and bring him in at end of contract, or we could keep trying to find like a young wonder-kid talent. Robbie Sullivan's going to continue on the right wing. He was excellent for us last year. Still 3.5-star current ability, 4.5-star potential. And he's going to be joined by Jan Kolbas, a Slovakian international at 18 years of age, who we've picked up from Slovan Bratislava. He only made 9 appearances and scored 1 goal for them before we picked him up as a 17-year-old. And then when he turned 18, he came across and joined. Really good decision making and teamwork. We're going to use him as that deep line playmaker on defend. He's got alright tackling, good passing range, good first touch and technique, and with games he's going to improve. Doesn't quite have the Marek Hamšík mohawk yet, but I'm sure it's only a matter of time. He's going to play alongside Kazuki Agura, who we've picked up from Saitama UTD, which I think is Ural Red Diamonds in real life. I could be wrong. You can correct me in the comment section again if I'm incorrect, but he just looks like a phenomenal player. He's most suited to the deep line playmaker role, but I really want to play him as a box-to-box midfielder because his passing range is excellent, his first touch is excellent, his work rate's tremendous, his determination's really good. Like, there's a lot of technical attributes he's got for a central midfield player that could burst onto the ball. Despite only being 19 and having 17 Japanese caps, he's only played 84 games and scored 5 goals for Saitama across the 3 years since he came into the game. And I think he's going to be fantastic for us. But we do have Arkanovic that's going to come across as well and is also suited to that role, so we might move him around a little bit as the season progresses. On the left wing, we're going to have #United Superstar and one of the favourites in the pre-season prediction for the Premier League, Joe Carter, who we've picked up from Hull City. He played on loan last year, I think, in the Championship, and we would have played against him, but he returned from his Hull City loan back to Brighton. We've picked him up for relatively cheap. I think we paid £2 million, £1.8 million. So not the biggest transfer that we brought in, but definitely one of the better ones. 15k a week, a real quality player. He can do pretty much everything that you need him to physically, mentally, and technically. 3-star current ability, 5-star potential. He will be fantastic, and he'll be key and critical to delivering to the guys up front. Benny Mulgard is the first, currently set to be an advanced forward in our structure and taking that role nicely. A physical beast, only 21, 4 caps, 1 goal for the Danish national team. He has 17 acceleration, 16 strength and 16 pace as well, so he's big and he can move quite quickly. Finishing and first touch are excellent, as is his heading. Does have a little bit of mental attributes that he needs to work on, but still young, still has time on his side. 3.5-star current ability and 5-star potential. Nobody with wonder kid status yet, but we've got a couple that come close, and one of those is Asa O'Connell, also a complete forward. We're going to play him as a deep line forward on support. He's taking to that role like a duck to water, left-footed player. Started his career at Tottenham Hotspur, who have really moved on to become a powerhouse of English football. I think they won the title the season before last, but we'll look at that in a minute. Really good physical attributes, nothing below an 11. Good mental stats for someone so young. Great determination, good teamwork, good vision, good leadership, good off-the-ball movement, which is so important for a deep line forward. Great technique, good heading, decent dribbling, finishing, first touch and passing as well. So hopefully he can continue his development. 19 years old, also 3.5-star current ability, also 5-star potential. And if we get that partnership working, it's going to be fantastic. I'm still not decided on who George Sosa will play alongside once he actually arrives in January. So really those two are going to be going head-to-head for a lot of positions. You'll see some of the wages here are quite high. We've got a bunch of people that are on 20k a week. Some of the guys that we're bringing in are on 20k a week as well. So we are starting to really spend quite a bit of money on our weekly budget. A couple other new faces, Sean Duncombe, I won't go into him. He's just going to be a backup goalkeeper that we signed from Barnsley during the off-season. Kevin Simpson we signed from Arsenal, who's going to be our backup right winger. And Joel Holden will be our backup right back. Everybody else, the players that have been here in the last couple of seasons, I know you guys haven't seen them yet because we did the fast forward episode, but a whole bunch of people that helped us get through the playoffs last year in the Championship, into the Premier League, and again get given their opportunities. There's 3 that are on the transfer list: Craig Warren, Eric Craggs and Scott Egan. They are on the transfer list so that hopefully they can sort out moves for January. And once those 3 new players come in, bring us to our total of 22, these 3 players will go out. So you won't have seen them on the depth chart that I had up earlier. But more than enough talking from me. Let's jump into the game against Leicester, our first game in the Premier League. I cannot wait to get started. Magic of editing though, you guys will see that now. Alright, we'll go through the home team first. It's a very different Leicester lineup to the one that you'd know today. Ashley Maitland-Niles is still playing in the centre of midfield for him. He'd be, about 32? 32. So still going along. I love looking at him because he can play pretty much every position if you train him right. Ben Wilmots at the back, only 30, coming through from Watford and then Wolves and then Leicester. And they've got ex-Blackburn goalkeeper, Spanish goalkeeper, 34 years of age, still plugging away. So there's still some real players that are continuing in this series. They've got some great players though. This guy here, Townsend, was actually one of the guys I was trying to pick up on a free transfer at the end of last season. Just looks like an absolute beast, and he can't even get into their starting lineup, so they must be decent. We're of course going with our #United 442. 19-year-old Polish goalkeeper with a full goatee. That sounds about right for regen faces. McDonald, Maguire in goal, we already mentioned. McCann and Graydon as the wing-backs. Carter and Sullivan as the wingers ahead of them, our creative hubs. And then Ogura and Kolbas, a Slovakian-Japanese central midfield pairing. I've never heard of one before. and O'Connell and Mulgard up front. O'Connell takes the armband, but I think it's actually Gilligan that is the captain this season. I can't even remember who I made the captain. We're just going to passionately say we're huge underdogs here, and that suits us down to the ground. We're going to go out with our positive mentality. If we start getting torn apart and go 3-0 down in the first 15 minutes, I will change it up. But in reality, I think the first season we had in the championship, I tried to stay too cautious. And this highlight is continuing. Thank God they brought that to an end. We didn't immediately concede, which is great. The first season in the championship, I tried to stay too cautious, and we ended up finishing about 19th because I was too scared to actually be positive and try and score more. And every other season where we've had largely a positive mentality, there we go, they've got a free kick from distance and they've scored it. Anders Thompson with his first goal of the season, it's a pretty decent one. Let's have a look at it in 3 dimensions. It looked like it had decent curl and it was always coming back towards the top corner. Could maybe the keeper have done a little bit better? It's a good strike, to be fair. It's right in the top corner. I'm not going to be too critical of anyone. But at least it's a set piece and we're not getting torn apart from open play. But it does see us drop us down to 20th in the division. But that's really what I want to see for this season. Us be a little bit more positive. Us at least have a go. If we're going to lose to like quality technical set pieces and stuff like that, we might as well have a crack in open play and try and get some goals and try and score quite a bit and get ourselves up into middle of the table. Fingers crossed, touch whatever wood, top of the table. 30 minutes gone, we're going to demand more. They've immediately got a corner, and thankfully Waldrum heads into the side netting. Some have responded positively. McCann looks frustrated, I'm not sure why. Defence is struggling a little bit with match ratings, but we've got a long goal kick here. Is this going to be our first highlight? No, we've switched the ball out to Mara. 2 men go to him when really one needed to stay. Errol gets the ball away, and he follows up and puts away the follow-up. Oh, sorry, the goalkeeper spills it and he puts away the follow-up. Errol Gould, his first goal of the season. It's a good ball from Mara, but 2 men go to him and no one closes him down quick enough. And it's a good crossfield ball. It's a good save from Rozak, but he drops it and no one follows in the rebound to help him out. It says Errol there over the player name, probably because he's Turkish. Oh, Jesus, look at him. He's quality. So they've definitely got some good players. We might just switch to cautious for the last 5 minutes just to get ourselves through to half-time, only 2-0 down. Settle a couple of nerves and then go back out again in the second half. We've somehow moved out of the relegation spot, so thanks to Wolves, Crystal Palace and Stoke for getting torn apart by 3 goals instead of just the 2. Going to assertively say, unlucky boys, things just haven't gone right for us so far. Everyone seems relaxed and confident. I'm going to leave us on cautious for 15 minutes and we'll see how we settle into that and if the stat line changes at all. If it doesn't, we'll go back to our positive mentality and make some subs after 15 minutes. Right, I've got our first highlight in possession here. McCann with the ball to Agura. Cross to Colbass at the top of the box. He plays it out to Sullivan, who is in the box, gets a ball across. Wilmot heads away, comes back out to Colbass. We've got a 2v1 in the corner here if we can work it. Goes to Agura, back to Colbass again. All the way to McDonald. At least we are trying to keep the ball a bit. Into Agura now, played forward to Connell. Releases to Mulgard. Takes a touch and gets his strike away. A first goal of the season for Benny Mulgard. The ex-Manchester City junior has smashed that one in from the top of the 18-yard box. And it's definitely an improvement in our play from the first half. So maybe we will stay on cautious mentality. It's a good little touch. Just works it around the corner and then strikes from distance. And the keeper can't do too much about that. It's hard into the bottom corner. Alright, they've got a highlight here starting from a goal kick. It's going to be a long one forward towards the goal scorer Errol. Headed back in the middle. Colbass will recover. Goes to Agura. Played forward to O'Connell in the hole. Back to Colbass. We've got a 2v1 here on the right if we can work it correctly. Graydon with the ball now. Played to Sullivan down the line. Gets the ball across to Mulgard, front stick. It bounces to him again, and he's put it away for his second goal of the season, and we've come back from 2-0 down. Let's check that one out in 3 dimensions, and we're probably about due to make some subs as well. Graydon does really well. Good combination play here with the winger. Doesn't dive into the tackle, releases into the channel. Sullivan just puts it in a good area, and thankfully Mulgard is fox in the box again. As Reyes spills it, he takes a touch, gets it back on his left foot, pokes that one home into the empty net. Alright, so after equalising and an hour in, we're going to make 3 subs, which I know is a risky play. But we're going to take off the 3 guys that were struggling most, 6.4 and 6.5 ratings for Noel McDonald, Ignacio McCann and Joe Carter. So we'll bring Gilligan on the left wing, Birch on at left fullback and Yanni Vlachos in as the left-sided centre-back. So they must be pretty strong on their right because we've struggled to make an impact. So hopefully with some fresh legs in the last 30 minutes, we don't necessarily have to win that side, but at least we can try and mitigate some of the danger that they're creating in that area. And I'm going to use Old Faithful, get creative after with half an hour remaining. Everyone seems inspired by it. Do we have enough in us to push on here and try and find a winner? Highlight here, Birch starts with the throw-in, forward to Gilligan. This is now the third division that Gilligan has played for us in, after joining us in the first off-season as we got promoted from Sky Bet League 2. Ball over the top to Moxon. Is he onside? I've just talked over the top of that. Charlie Moxon with his first goal of the season. Assist from Luke Pope. It was either an excellent ball or a poor defensive line. You can see he's offside here. And Gierda plays it to Pope. And it's well timed. It's a good weighted ball. Maybe the goalkeeper could have come to it. It landed in the 6-yard box by the time he hit it. But do we have anything else up our sleeve to try and find another equaliser? Even if we did lose this 1-3-2, at least we know we have enough in us to actually go out and score against these decent sides. Agura with a deep free kick towards Maguire to Sullivan, who I think clipped the bar as it went over. I've also just used our demand more shout at the same time. Maguire seems focused, as does Sutherland. A couple of the subs look pressured. I'm not sure why. But we've brought the stat line back massively since switching to cautious. 12 shots, 4 on target, 56% of the ball. They've had 14, 5 and 44. Thompson now with the throw-in. Played to Pope, who created that second goal. Sullivan recovers well, though. Graydon looks for a ball over the top towards Mulgard. Someone's gone down. Reviewing the footage. Is this going to be a penalty? Or is it going to be a free kick to Wilmot because Mulgard's on a yellow card? Reviewing the footage. I forgot we had VAR for the first time in this series. It's a penalty, so I think Mulgard's going to have his opportunity to get his hat-trick. I don't know who our best penalty taker is. It is. Can he step up? And the referee hasn't saved it. The goalkeeper saved it. Raya dove to his left and held it just to rub it in a little bit further. So I can't complain. We've had enough opportunities. 5 minutes to be added on. We're pretty much at the end of that now. There's a corner to be taken. It's headed away by Sullivan, but it hits the deck and it falls to Moxon, but I think he's offside. He's going to check. Yes, he does. He calls that one out with VAR, so VAR has helped us twice now. But that's it. Our first game in the Premier League finishes with a 3-2 defeat, but still, that could have been way worse. We were 2-0 down pretty quickly. I don't know why we're seeing a replay of this. I'm not worried about it. I'm just going to passionately say, putting the result aside, that was a pleasing performance, and everyone's responded positively, which is what we need to see. Particular shout out to Benny Mulgard on debut, getting a double. Hashtag United edged out in a tight contest. Benny Mulgard actually got the player of the match with his 8.7 rating and 2 goals. A whole bunch of hashtag United debuts, a whole bunch of actual playing debuts for players as well. Not going to worry about the press conference. Devs can go and take care of that one. Mulgard ends his goal drought. I don't know, he was in a goal drought. But let's go and tell him he was excellent in front of goal last time. Keep it up. What we might also do is, let's see how we go. Let's just check it out. We're at home. We're against Manchester United, who are a phenomenal team. And the reigning champions. So we're going to go cautious from the off, and we'll see if we see any improvement in the actual play to start with. And then what I'm also going to do, probably doesn't do anything, but I'm just going to give everyone a day's rest. That started the game. Everyone else can go to training. And now, magic of editing, we're going to jump ahead to the game against Manchester United. Alright, so I want to jump back a little bit earlier because we have jumped from 1995 season tickets last season in the Championship to 17,181 season tickets sold. I told you earlier that we have a new stadium. It's only seats 15,000 people, so I have no idea what has brought that spike about other than Premier League television money. And the other thing I wanted to show you was this scouting report. Alfredo Vigili is fucking terrifying. So he transferred from Barcelona to Manchester United. He has 89 goals in 190 appearances since he joined. He's won the Premier League, the Club World Championship, the Champions League, the Premier League a couple more times, Carabao Cup, Community Shield. He's played for 73 times for 46 goals for the Spanish national side. 20 agility, 18 off the ball, 19 composure. Oh, Jesus. Dimos Maitides, he sounds Greek, but he's an English right winger, the likes of David Beckham. Just similarly an absolute beast. Terrifying. He joined from Arsenal, it looks like. Martin Dominguez is their big off-season signing that they've paid a whole bunch of money for from Bayern Munich, a Mexican deep-lying playmaker. 18 passing range, 18 stamina, 18 anticipation. Got a 19-year-old Serbian centre-back. The second coming of Nemanja Vidic. Looks like an absolute beast. Holy crap. We'll be doing well just to rock up to the stadium. And last time out, they beat West Ham 4-3. I think it was a come-from-behind win. Yeah, they did. They scored a further 3 goals after going 2-1 down. Yaya Toure says we're going to get relegated. Fuck Yaya Toure. Norwich manager Yaya Toure. Oh shit, Gareth Southgate is their manager. I didn't even know that. Alright, so a couple of changes to their lineup. Serbian centre-back, whose name I already forgot, is not playing. They've got Irma Cora as the left-back, who looks like I think that's an Udinese kit. He is, 30-year-old Italian wing-back. He looks quality. They've brought in Frank Kessie, who's at AC Milan. If you can pick him up in your own saves, he's phenomenal. And Pablo Dybala. Did I say Pablo? I meant Paolo. Paulie D. Just getting old. 36 years old. Physical traits aren't quite there, but still an elite attacking midfield. His technical attributes are phenomenal. They've got Jadon Sancho on the bench as well. I didn't notice that one. Love to see him make that move in real life. Passionately, let's just going to say, I know we're underdogs here, but let's give the fans a performance to cheer for. Not responded negatively, but let's just tell everyone that we've got faith in them as well. Just to relax everybody. I'm not overly distraught if you told me that we weren't going to get any points against Leicester and Manchester United, given that Manchester United, I think, have won like 3 of the last 5 league titles and a Champions League in there somewhere as well. And Leicester, I don't think, have been relegated at any point. I think they've been a Premier League side the entirety of the save in season 13 as well. Aiden Graydon's picked up a yellow card, and I don't have a backup right back on the bench, so behave yourself, please, Aiden. All right, first highlight of the game, Dybala with a deep free kick. It's towards back post, and mighty TD's linesman's running back. I thought maybe it might have been offside. The referee's going to go and review with VAR, but I think, given how quickly the linesman run back, it's probably not going to get overturned. It was a good ball in. Check it out here in 3 dimensions. Very deep free kick. Yeah, he's definitely onside. It's a good header. Beats him near post. Disappointing defending. And it's weird seeing that Manchester United kit with the red socks. Usually black socks or white socks, not red. Graydon with the throw in here towards Mulgard, who turns his man very well. Gets a ball to O'Connell from 2 yards out. He heads over. Just had to get that one down and on target, mate. So, I mean, that should be an achievement in itself. Just getting a highlight against this Manchester United team. Dybala with a free kick from distance, and thankfully just over the top of the bar. It looked like it was on target. 30 minutes gone, so we've used our demand more shout. Everyone has responded pretty much positively. McCann and O'Connell, the only 2 pressured. 1 minute to be added on. I don't know if you guys noticed, we've got Manchester City next. They're currently leading Leicester, who just beat us 3-0 at half-time. I'm going to calmly say, you've been unlucky so far. Everyone seems relaxed and motivated. That's what we want. No need to get on top of everyone. It's going to take some time to settle in this division. Pretty much bang on an hour. We're going to go with 3 subs. Sullivan, O'Connell and McCann will all come off. Second time we've taken off McCann for a pretty poor performance. Kevin Simpson will make his debut, the Arsenal signing on the right wing. Orifil will come on up top. And Sam Birch in at left back. We're going to give him 30 minutes against United. We're going to leave it as the cautious mentality because we're not doing too bad. 6 shots, 2 on target, 66% possession. They've had 5 shots, 3 on target and 34%. So we've actually come back into it a little bit. And Old Faithful, we're going to pull it out of the pocket again. 60 minutes gone. Tell everyone to get creative. See if we can push on. And I'd like, if it stayed 1-0, even if we conceded more, I'm not that unhappy because I don't think the nostalgia yet has worn off about actually playing against Manchester United. Boya from distance finds Matides, and that's his 2nd goal of the game and 2nd goal of the season. Excellent run from Boya. I thought he was going to try and crash that one in, but Matides just pulled off outside the wing back and smashed it inside. And Makora with the throw. You can see here it's a good run across, and Matides just moves off into that space, hits it first time on his left leg, puts it low and hard across the keeper. I'm not actually that mad about the way my defensive structure was because everyone was in the middle trying to close down the shot. They've got the ball again here. If they score again, we'll go to positive mentality and see what happens just for the last 20 minutes or so. Virgili now with the ball, and Virgili, 4th goal of the season for him. It's insane that we're only in the 2nd game, and it was a good strike to be fair. It was a tackle, I think it was on Dybala. You'll see here in 3 dimensions. Maguire heads the ball back. Dybala plays forward to Boya. It's Boya that gets tackled by Simpson. It plays through to Virgili, and it's a good curling finish from the top of the box on his left foot. So we're down to 3-0 just like that. I thought we weren't doing too badly. Maybe the subs I made were incorrect. Matides now for his hat-trick. Ooh, and that was a good-looking free kick, but just over the crossbar. Another highlight here. Virgili with a deep corner. Hits the deck, and Kessie pokes that one home for his 1st goal of the season. So they've run a bit roughshod with us in the 2nd half here. And even though we switched our positive mentality, it hasn't really seemed to do much in terms of keeping the ball. It's a good strike, to be fair. But maybe I shouldn't have made subs. Maybe I did them too early. Maybe doing 3 at once was a bit of a mistake because McDonald's now struggled. Mulgard's now struggled. None of the subs have really had any positive impact. So maybe we need to be a bit smarter and hold on to one of them until the last 10 minutes or so. They're bringing on a wonder kid for Frank Kessie. Juan Ramirez was his name. Jadon Sancho's also making an appearance. Yeah, he's a right wing-back wonder kid, a 20-year-old Argentinian with 6 caps. Oh, he looks quick. He's definitely going to stretch our defence. Another highlight here, we're pretty much at the end of extra time. Carter's going to head it away, and referee mercifully brings the action to a close. So 2 defeats, conceded 6 goals in that. Oh no, sorry, we conceded 7 goals in the first 2 games of the season, which isn't great. We weren't doing too badly at half-time, so I do wonder if it was the subs that really made it difficult for us. I'm going to say I'm far from pleased. I just can't. There's no part of me that says you can lose 4-0 against any team and be okay with it or like excuse it in any way. So I'm going to say no. Everyone seems motivated anyway, so they're probably used to me shouting at them. But when was the last game? When was the last episode that we lost 2 games in? When was the last episode that we conceded 7 goals in? So early doors, we are 18th in the league. A bit disappointing to drop down into that spot, but there's quite a few teams that have lost both their games. Crystal Palace, Everton, Swansea, Stoke, Wolves are the other ones amongst us. And even then, Burnley and West Ham only have a point, so we only really need to pick up 1 or 2 points and we're going to jump right back up into 12th spot. Hashtag United succumbed to Manchester United. That is pretty much what happened. They wore us down until about the hour mark and then absolutely tore us apart after that. 3 goals beyond the 67th minute. Day bit to forget for Kevin Simpson. He was the person that made that tackle for the second goal. And I'll actually do the press conference here. Didn't disgrace ourselves. Frustrating not come away with a point. We had more of the possession somehow. Not going to get down on any players. We're just going to fire through the rest of it. And let's look forward to our next episode. So I'm thinking we're probably going to come back in about 10 league games, maybe do like the 12th and 13th games of the season. So we played Leicester, we've played Manchester United. We're probably not going to see them again in an episode, but what we might do is come back and do the 2 Liverpool teams, Liverpool and Everton. Everton are spending an insane amount of money on people. Like they have cracked, I think, 50 million paid for people, like quite a few different times throughout the course of the season. They've still got Rashford playing, they've still got Brahim Diaz. So that might be a good one to see, and it'd be good to see how Liverpool are actually doing. They've still got Ben Woodburn playing, they've still got Trent Alexander-Arnold, Ousmane Dembele's there, Kieran Tierney's joined, Joe Gomez, so they've still got quite a few familiar faces in their squad. So that might be a good place to do it. We'll jump ahead until December. Those first 2 games in December will close out. It'll see us be about 12, 13 games into the league season. We'll see exactly how we're travelling. But even though not great results, I'm still thrilled to be finally in the Premier League. I'm hoping we can get through about 2 seasons. If I can stick to a daily episode between today, which is like the 12th, and the 20th, we should be able to get through 2 more seasons. But if you want to help celebrate, chuck a like on this video, celebrate our first games in the Premier League. Try and support me so that we can finally get a win. But more than anything, guys, I just appreciate you all watching. You can subscribe to the channel if you want to be kept up to date on future videos as they're released, or you can follow _FM on Twitter for all Football Manager content, whether it's tweets or reactions to stuff or whatever else, you can see it all there. And as always, I've been Sean, this has been In The Mixer, and don't you ever forget to hashtag it.